I've got a few things I need to show you. And one of those things is the wiggle. And there's one very sassy, wiggly lady that's about to show us who's wiggling in a beautiful wiggle dress, and that's our lovely Charlotte Newland. Now, wiggle dresses just seem to be everywhere at the moment, and I know for a lot of you out there, I know there's a lot of people that were saying, oh, I don't know if I can wear a wiggle dress, etc. But down to the fit, you can actually cut it, because we have got patterns that are from a 6 to a 14 and a 14 to a 22. They don't have to fit as snugly around that treble hip area as you might think they do. So you can get a nice feel to them. So the patterns are exactly the same, but I'm just going to go through two different sets of details for you according to the size. So you can see, starting off with, this is the size 6 to 14 for you, and it's the butterick gathered front keyhole dress. Don't worry about that keyhole. I've mentioned it deliberately because we set Charlotte a little bit of a challenge, and we're going to show you in this next hour how to hack it to remove that keyhole element, so you don't have to have that little bit on show if you don't want to. And then the other size variation that we have, so it's exactly the same pattern, and the other size that's coming in now is for the size 14 to 22. So again, I'm going to just show you now the back side of this one. So on the web, if you drop into the second image that's on there, you will notice that you will actually get the back image of the pattern. So there you can actually reference the amount of fabric that you will require for your required size. So you can look it up and see exactly what notions and other materials you'll need. But if you do have any questions, please message in to the studio, because we're both here, more than happy to try and answer as many of them as we possibly can and help you out with that too. Because we all want to wiggle. Now, I know, the things they make me do, really. Okay. Now, what's been done beautifully by our fabulous Adele is she's kind of grouped it all together for you, so you can sort of see it, rather than kitting it, because obviously there's different fabric requirements according to your size. We've got all the materials that you'll need to assemble it in coordinating colours. So, extra wide backing Tula, right, got it, fabulous, sorry, extra wide spotty Tula, okay. So, this is the one that we've seen our gorgeous Charlotte in today, and she was sent just a metre of this because it is extra wide, because it's 108 inches wide. And she had some left over, and that was with some serious pattern matching, and I looked at it and I checked it, and it's pattern match, believe you me. It's beautiful. So there you have it. That's your Tula pink. Yeah, you don't have to worry about the fact that it's quilt backing. It is 100% cotton, beg your pardon. We do sell it in half metres, so that's why it's up there as a description for quilters to use, but equally, being that 100% cotton, it is perfect for this project, as Charlotte can confirm. So £12.99 for a half metre, but it's huge. It's 108 inches wide, as you can imagine. So there you go. Now, to coordinate with that, for lining, we've got the most fabulous soft lilac mauve tone, we've called it there. Now we've also got, this is an anti-static lining, so it's not going to go anywhere and cause, start you pinging and being lots of excess static around you there. So you've got your static lining. That one, if I remember rightly, is 150 wide. Is that right, Hannah? Thank you. 100% polyester, but perfect coordinating colour combination for that. So obviously it's not as wide as your quilting fabric, but it is still a wider fabric. It's not your standard quilt width, it is the sort of 60 inch, the 150 width. So they work perfectly together for you, and that's the combination there. And the zip that we've got, that we've matched with it, as you can see, picks out the tone beautifully. Invisible zip that we've got for you, beautiful, 41 centimetres. It's a concealed zip, and this week it was something that was at the fore of a lot of the viewers noticed on when we were watching on a lot of the programmes, and we could see that concealed zips or invisible zips, depending on what your preference is, were quite key really, and really important, particularly to our make for this lovely wiggle dress. Pink we're moving to next. We're tickled pink with this beautiful shade of cerise. Isn't that just stunning? Now our pattern specifies that you can also use a beautiful crepe with it as well. So we've got a luxury lightweight crepe. I know traditionally you may think of them as being of a cotton base usually when you've seen them out there, but also the pattern has actually recommended that you can create it in this lightweight crepe. And oh, is that right? We've got a little bit of a discount on it too. It's 100% polyester, 148 centimetres wide, just so you know what you're looking for in terms of your fabric quantities to purchase for your size. But that's a really cracking deal. Beautiful, really gorgeous colour. Lining fabric, we've got a matching lining fabric for it as well, as you can see. A little paler. Anti-static again, a really nice sort of finish to it in that cerise pink as well, just slightly paler than the actual finish, so that'd be nice if you get a little peep of that. That look beautiful. As you can see, great price on that. And then we've gone more with sort of a concealed zip that's slightly more purpley toned, but that's a perfect colour combination, as you can see, as it will be concealed. Right, so moving on to the blues. We're in the blues. Let's have a look. Oh, this is lovely. Now, this is what you were seeing on a little glimpse of on social, if I remember rightly. So we've got our mannequin behind me, as you can see, beautifully modelling. Oh, look at this. Amazing. Beautiful print, this one. So fresh, so fresh. Love that pop of cerise. So this is 100% cotton. It's 112 centimetres wide, so not quite so wide on this one here. So you'll probably find you'll need a little bit more of this in terms of units that you're ordering, as we sell it by the ½ metre. But look at that lovely fresh sort of spearmint tone with that pop of cerise. Look, very nice. And then we've also got, if you want something a bit more traditional with the polka dot and a little bit of a ditzy print combo going on, here we've got this lovely soft powder blue. There's a lot of this colour around for the spring, and you can see there it's got the little ditzy print with the little florals and the nice white polka dot background there. And then we've got to coordinate with that some blue lining, same again, anti-static, as you can see, in that soft coordinating baby blue. Beautiful. And equally we've also got the concealed zip to go with it, which is a perfect match. Okay, so there you've got it. There's your little combination there. Beautiful, nice, really nice pull on these zips as well. And then we've also got a black combination, so we've got a bit of a colourway for everybody today. This is really great. So starting off with the floral one first, Hannah. So this is your floral. So this is now going back to looking at crepes again. Work with it. That is just knockout. That would look stunning. Can you imagine that? A nice jade pair of shoes. Nice, maybe a little jade jacket as well. That would look fabulous at a wedding, wouldn't it? A lovely wedding outfit there. Charlotte's nodding, going, yes, when done there. And then also, oh, this is nice because we've got a very on trend at the moment with the wild animal prints and the foliage. Look at that, absolutely stunning. Really flattering as well because it's that pop of colour, but you've got that dark background to it as well, so it's really going to give a nice silhouette to it. And you've also got a reduction on these, so these are really great, perfect for this time of year. And then of course to complement them, you're going to need your black anti-static lining, which is very ordinary to look at, but there you have it, very essential, obviously, and we're just coming up with the details for those as we speak. Now, there you go. And finally, a black concealed zip, as you can see, which isn't very good against my wild print today, I'm afraid, but there you have it. Okay, so that's your black concealed zip, 41 centimetre zip. Beautiful. So let's wiggle away. I'm going to take these with me because now we're going to learn how to make a wiggle dress. Hello.
You have to wiggle while you're sewing it.
Wiggle.
That's the rules. Right.
Now, Charlotte,
yes,
I've
my
got
love.
to say, I mean, just look, she's a vision. She looks amazing. As today, we've said, you're a lady.
I am a lady today.
She's a lady. She's
I feel like a proper lady.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really do. In terms of fabric, sort of how much are we thinking about needing?
It depends on the size.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the information's on the back of the
Yeah.
packet. If you've got wide fabric, so 60 inches, 1.5 metres, then you need 1.5 metres for pretty much all of the sizes, actually.
Yeah.
Narrower fabric, you need between 1 metre and, well, actually you need
More
2
like,
metres
so
for
going
both,
towards
really,
two.
because,
around about 2-ish.
Yeah.
So you're looking about 4 units.
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
average,
So
aren't
it's
you?
not huge, because the
That's
skirt
okay.
is very narrow. So it doesn't
is,
use
it's
a lot
very
of,
slick,
it's not
isn't
like
it?
a gathered skirt that would use a lot
Do we
more
need
yardage.
to consider anything regarding pattern matching a little bit more now?
Yes, if you've got a bigger pattern, like with the spotty fabric, you do need to be more aware
a bit more mindful
and have a bit
of it.
bit more fabric.
So really, for most of the sizing, if you're going for a fairly straightforward, we're looking around about 2 metres each.
Yeah, absolutely.
For larger sizes,
Yeah.
If it's extra wide, then we can go
Yes,
down.
I mean, as you said, they sent me a metre, and I pattern matched, and I made, I'm sort of 14 to 18, depending on which bit of me you look at.
Yeah. And depending on which pattern we use.
Well, yes, in
that's
this
the
pattern.
sizing.
In this pattern.
Yeah, so it's only in the Tula you'd need about it's that Tula print which
Yes,
you're wearing.
exactly.
Yeah, that you need that metre-ish.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, that gives us a rough idea. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea to get started with. Okay. Oh, we've had a message as well from Deborah.
Oh, it's
saying
from
that
my
you look
friend
fabulous.
Debs. Hello, Debs.
Oh,
Thank you, love. Mwah.
Okay, where do we get started?
Well,
Let's
I just
go.
wanted to show you the difference between
what
it says
the keyhole.
Yes,
doesn't
so
it?
this is the keyhole pattern
Right,
pieces.
let's get these.
These are the 3 that are relevant. This is the bodice front. Are we on the above camera? Can we do that? Cool. Oh, look. Oh, Ben. There, let me hold it up. So this is the bodice front piece, and here is the cutaway. That end. Here's the cutaway that makes the keyhole.
Yeah, so we may not want this little bit
if you
here
don't
where it's
want
cut
that.
away.
I'm
and that's
not
what
mad
Charlotte's
keen on
saying, that it's cut away here
on a
the
draft.
pattern piece because you've transferred
I
it from
have.
the tissue, haven't you, to a
Yes.
piece of paper to,
I always
illustrate,
trace it.
to illustrate
Anyway,
this point.
So this is the original with that cutaway bit there.
Yeah.
And then it has the midriff piece as well, which it gets sewn to, which also has a little hole in it like that.
So that's when, if we put them two together,
Then you can
Charlotte,
sort
we
of see.
show.
Because this gets gathered
obviously
up.
it gets gathered in.
There, like that.
There you go. You can see that's where that keyhole's coming. But if you don't want to do that,
exactly.
There's a way around it.
There is a way
isn't there?
around it.
Because and it's quite a simplistic hack,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's not difficult.
Okay.
So the key thing is to make the loop piece a lot longer.
Okay.
Because instead of just catching it like that, it has to
got
come
catch
all
in
the way
further down.
round.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. I
Okay.
doubled the length of that.
So double the length of the loop piece. So this is the piece of the standard piece that you would get in your
Yes.
pattern. There you go, like that. Sorry, I've changed. There you go. And you need to make it pretty much double.
Twice as long,
Make
basically.
it twice
Well,
as long.
it
You
was sort of
can't
a bit
go
under.
wrong. You can't go wrong.
You can always
but
cut a
it's
bit
best to be
off.
longer than shorter, isn't it?
Yes,
a bit?
once
Okay.
you've
So
sort of
that's the
assembled it, you
first
can always
thing
cut
to
a bit
do.
off.
Yeah.
And then
Second
the
thing,
next thing
what
that
do
you
we
do
do?
is this is the bodice front again. Let's compare it.
Yeah.
I'll overlay it. So you can see, basically, I've just extended this line down.
Oh, yeah, I can see.
And
So you've
straighten
actually
that out.
taken it down to, you've continued the line
Yes, that sort of
underneath the
curve.
bust, which is the curve, and you've continued the line until
Exactly.
they meet.
Yes.
So basically, if you were to put the pattern piece down on a piece of paper and extended the two, you would find the point at where they meet. That's the point you stop at, and then you just make sure that
that's all I
it's
did
cut
with that.
off and fitted up. Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant. That's straightforward enough, isn't it? Yeah.
And then this is slightly more complicated in that you can't just fill that in.
No.
Because it then won't be long enough.
Yes.
So I filled it in and also added a bit. So I don't know if you can actually see, I've stuck on it's about 3/4 of an inch higher in the middle. So I've added a little bit of paper on as well.
Okay, so you've had to take some up. So that
pop
comes
that
from, I
over
was
the
going
top.
to say, yeah, thank you, Charles, so we can just show. So if you've just taken it, so you've got a little bit more of a rise on it up to that centre point there.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a bit tricky to see because it's all white. Oh, there we go, that's a little
That's
better.
lovely, a bit of shadow now, so you can see.
Okay.
Perfect, okay.
So that's it.
Yeah.
And then the sewing is slightly different from the instructions.
So we're going to focus mainly on just the bodice, aren't we?
We are,
because
yes.
that's where, and then we're going to talk and tackle the zip element as well.
Yes.
Okay, aren't we? Because
We
that's
are.
really, really key. One of the things I was going to say as well is when you're doing that sort of thing, that's where bringing in your calico
Absolutely,
would work
I did
an
make a
absolute
muslin.
treat,
Yes.
wouldn't it? Because if you're not quite sure how much to do that alter
Yeah.
that depth, that's where you can sort of make that adjustment.
Absolutely.
And it'd be more cost effective than using
Yeah,
the actual
yeah, yeah.
fabric. So I'd go down that route if you're not too sure.
I definitely approve
Okay,
of
so
calicos. Right, okay.
made all our adjustments. We've got
Yes.
rid of our keyhole with our pattern. We're all happy with the fit that we know that it's going to fit okay now
Yes,
when it's
we
sitting
are,
in
'cause
there
we've made a
nicely.
muslin and
So
it's
where
all
do we
fine.
go next?
Okay, so these are the two centre fronts.
Okay, so
And I've
centre
just,
fronts together
here
first.
we are, we just sew those together along that curved
Quite
edge.
a curve on there.
It is
Charlotte,
quite a
as
curve,
well.
yes.
Yeah.
But that's because that then gets gathered in.
So it's
and that
actually
makes the bust
using it.
shaping.
So it's using that to give that flow. Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
So the first thing you do is you make your outer bodice out of your shell fabric.
yeah.
So I've got my two sleeves here. And it's sort of a raglan sleeve in that it wraps around your shoulder.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pin this on. This crepe is so lovely.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Really
Such a
nice.
stunning colour.
Such good value as well.
It is. I can see so many people in this. This is
Yeah.
stunning.
Beautiful.
So for the largest size of this crepe, you'd need
It's 2 metres.
2 metres, yeah.
Because it's.
Yeah.
Oh, is it extra wide? Is it?
No, it's not. Sorry,
Is
actually,
it 150 wide?
No. How wide is this one, Hannah?
I think it's 150.
Sorry, we're just going to check on the
Okay.
crepe. Sorry, everybody. Just checking.
You can't get the star.
Oh no. Sorry.
Terrible.
It is 150 wide, Charlotte. Yeah.
Okay,
you're
then
right.
you
So,
need a
yeah,
metre and a
so
half.
A metre and a half, actually. Yeah. That's for the largest. Yeah, that's for the largest size. There's a difference of a couple of
20
few-
centimetres,
a few
yeah.
20 centimetres. So yes, for everybody, metre and a half if you like the crepe. That's all you need. So you're ordering 3 units in total.
And you can get the most amazingly beautiful dress for such good value.
And it's £2.69. So that's less than £10 for a
And
dress.
it feels such good quality. Because I got this and I was like, ooh, it
That's
feels
incredible.
very nice.
So you'd have to buy 3 units because we sell it as the half metre, just so you know. So that's amazing.
It's amazing.
That is amazing.
So I'm just sewing these sleeves onto the front armhole.
Dealing with that crepe, quite a slippy fabric. Any top tips?
You could pin more than usual if you like. If you
Okay.
really want to, you could give it a bit of a starch before you cut it, just to
Oh,
sort of
okay.
keep it under control a bit.
Yeah, just
That'll
give it a
wash
bit of
out in the fur,
stability.
you know, that'll
That's
wash
really
out
useful
nicely,
to
so you
know.
don't need to worry about that. But no, it's fine. It's not as bad as you'd think.
Okay.
It's lovely and drapey, but it doesn't sort of run away from you.
It is a little bit deceiving, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
you think it's flimsier than what it is.
Yeah.
But actually, it has quite a bit of body to it, doesn't it?
It
And
does.
it holds its shape nicely.
Okay, so these are the back bodice bits, and I've already sewn my darts in here.
That's fabulous. We had a fabulous lesson on darts earlier today.
And this
That
is the
was
bit where you have
amazing.
to
At
try
9
and
o'clock.
Thank you. You have to try and not get confused about which way everything goes.
Okay.
So I'm going to lay my back bodices right sides together with the front bodice.
I like how you lay everything out like this, Charlotte, actually, because I think so often you try and work in the minutest of spaces, and we forget, don't we?
I know.
That just by laying it out
Lay it out.
simply, it avoids so
I
many.
do all my pinning
sewing
on my
bits
ironing
upside
board.
down, sewing things on the wrong way. It just eliminates it, doesn't it? By
Yeah,
having that
absolutely.
surface area.
Do your pinning on a flat surface. Don't do it on your lap. That's a rule of life. Don't pin on your lap. You'll get it upside down and it'll all be a pain. Right, so I know that's the right side of that.
Yeah.
And of course you've got your notches there,
Okay.
your double notch to match.
Also, I suppose you could use magic clips on this, couldn't you? That would work quite well, because
Yeah.
it would stop your slippage a little bit,
It
wouldn't
would.
it? That'd be perfect. So if you haven't got, don't forget that early bird.
Yeah, I'm
Today.
amazed there's still some,
I know,
some
I'm
left that you've
surprised.
got to talk about. It's because you had so many of them.
I know, I know. We did do well with them today.
I've never seen such big ones.
Well,
Such
this
big
is
clips.
it.
They look
I think
great.
also they're great because they're that bit big. You're not going to lose them so
Yeah.
much either, are you?
I've got some little ones and they're great, but you know, being able to leave them in.
Well, yes, it's
That's
just that leaving the
fantastic.
fabric flat,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's the difference, because it's just the bulkiness of
Yeah.
the ones that have got the teeth on, but because it has that metal plate, it just sits with the fabric beautiful.
Very clever.
Yeah. Bit magic, really.
I
Isn't
wonder
it?
how they
Boom.
came up with that name.
I can't think either. That's incredible. So this is going together actually quite. I mean, don't get me wrong. I totally appreciate we've pre-cut it.
Yes.
And we're good to go. And you've pre-sewn your darts, but it takes its form quite quickly.
It does.
There's not. I should imagine there's not that many pattern pieces in there.
Well,
is
the
there?
midriff is a separate piece, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do have to make it all twice because you've got your lining.
Of course.
But yeah, it's not as time consuming as you might think.
Yeah.
Now here's my lining, which I've prepared earlier.
Oh, very good.
So this is my outer bodice, all sort of finished in one long loop.
Okay.
And this is
Yeah.
my lining, again, all finished in one long loop. And what I'm going to do now is sew them together around the neck edge.
So for the lining, we'd need 1.5 meters of that as well,
Yes,
because that's
exactly.
the same.
It's the same width.
Hannah's just bringing those details in for you along the bottom there, so you can see if you'd like the coordinating anti-static lining that we feel
It's lovely
is a
lining.
nice match with the actual crepe itself.
Again, extremely good value.
Really great value. That's what I mean. It's just like crazy prices. We can make this.
You can make this exact
for
dress.
under £25, I'd imagine. Is that
Yeah.
right, including the pattern? Won't be far off-ish, give or take a bit.
I think the zip is probably the most expensive part.
And also, if you've got your starter dressmaking kit that we had on earlier, that'd be amazing, because you've got your glass pins and
Ooh,
you've got
that
your
one's having a bad day. Look at that.
isn't it? Yeah,
Let's
that's
get rid of
gaming.
that one.
It's like our technical issues first thing this morning. So we're just going to bring that up for you, just so you can see. I was just talking about the starter dressmaking kit that we introduced this morning, and do feel free to watch back earlier our introduction to our how-to series that we started off with our fabulous Charlotte here. But this starter kit is great equally if you just really need to build up your stash again. You know, if you finally decided to dust off your sewing machine and get sewing again, there's a lot of these essential things that tend to get sort of put elsewhere in the home when you've not sewn as much. And so it's all well worthwhile just restocking on it all. And we've got a fabulous deal for you today. It's saving £4 in total. You've got the Sew Step by Step book. You've got an 8-inch set of blades on those beautiful, and they've got soft cushioning as well in the bows of those scissors. A pair of snips there. You've also got the long quilt tape measure, which is perfect for doing those sort of longer full length measurements. The glass headed pins, tailor's chalk, 3 threads and 1/2 metre of calico. So amazing little kit there to
Yeah, really
kickstart
good.
you, isn't it? So where have we got to?
I'm just
Charles,
pinning
darling?
my neckline together all the way around.
So
matching all
lining's
my
made.
seams.
You're matching up all your
Right
seams.
sides together, everything's
right
getting
sides
matched.
together, okay. And we're going all the way around the neckline in one go.
Yeah, from the back opening all the way around the edges of the sleeves,
Yeah.
all the way around the front, all in one go.
Brilliant.
And it's quite unusual to see me pin things.
Now, obviously, we were saying sort of like with something like this, fit's obviously going to be key,
Yes.
isn't it? And getting the fit. And obviously, with your fabulous guide this morning to measuring, hopefully we'll have a bit more success with our fits.
Yeah.
In any case, and if you've invested in one of our adjuster forms maybe today, you'll be well on the road to having a far more successful fitting arrangement with your garments. But what we're going to what do we need to be mindful of, I think, really, regarding the fit? What's the key elements we need to consider with a wiggle dress? Because I know it just sort of get people thinking, oh, it's so fitted, can I do it?
I think the key thing is to remember that you can choose different sizes for the different elements of the dress, that you can grade between your sizes. So, for example, I made a size 14 on the bust of this dress,
Yes.
but I graded out to a size 18 for my waist, because I'm actually very straight in the waist. I don't go in very much. And then I went back down to a 14 for my hips.
Which is what's so great about a multi-size pattern.
I loved it, yes.
Because, and what we mean by that is with the tissue pattern pieces, because the different sizes are marked on there, what you need to look at is those measurements, those crucial measurements that we talked about this morning, and look at what size they fall under on the multi-size print. Then what you can do is, if you say like Charlotte, you come in at the 14 on as the bust measurement and that aligns, you start off by folding in the pattern piece to the size 14, but then it might be that you go out a little bit more at the waist and your measurement correlates with the size 16. So you then just naturally, from that bust point, you then let the pattern piece fold out to the next size on the size 16, so it'll naturally graduate out.
Absolutely.
And so on and so forth. And there's a lot more discussions we need to have about this, and we will make sure that I think it's a really valuable point that we do need to start sort of covering in one of the how-tos, how to pattern grade, you know, from how to do like tissue pattern grading, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So I think it's quite a skill as well, and just to understand where you can change things.
And that's where tracing patterns also comes in really handy.
Yes, as well. And also, like we said earlier, transferring it. Once you've got that, if you have got a multi-size pattern that you have tissue or paper graded, so to speak, you can actually transfer it to your calico, and then you've got a permanent one, and then there's no vulnerability with where you folded it anymore, is it? You're not going to destroy your pattern should you need to make an adjustment at a later date.
Okay, so this is now
so you've gone all the way around the neckline.
Stitched around. I'm going to clip into my curves a little bit.
Okay, so
because this is going to get turned inside out.
Clipping,
yes,
I think is key.
Yes.
And I think is a massive thing that a lot of people underestimate the need to, because they're scared they're going to cut into their fabric.
Fair enough.
Which is quite scary, also, my darling. But what you could do is where you clip in, you can always put a pin there, can't you? So your blade can't snip through it any further beforehand, if you are a little bit worried about that. But can you just explain to us, Charlotte, the purpose of clipping and what's it going to offer us?
Okay, I'll show you what happens. Oh no, it's too late, I've done it now. Okay. Basically, when you first sew this curve, if you were to pull on these stitches, it wouldn't straighten out very easily. No. But you can see, because I've clipped into it, as I pull on
example.
Thank you. The gaps between where I've clipped are opening up, and it's allowing that line of stitching to be completely straight.
Yes.
So that's how you know when you've done enough clipping, as well as if you can hold each end and pull and it be straight.
That's a really
sufficient.
Fabulous tip, isn't it? Because it is just knowing about that clipping. I mean, it does recommend it on a lot of your patterns, and tells you sort of roughly a distance, and keeping them an equidistance apart, the clips as close as you can, that helps, doesn't it, as well? So you get that even tension across the fabric. As Charlotte said, when you pull it out, that does make a huge difference. But it's just that ease, isn't it?
Yeah.
And therefore, particularly around a neckline, this is where people go wrong, and that's where you get those lumps.
Sort of lumpy bumpy, yeah.
You know, and particularly if it's a neckline that requires a bit of top stitching, it can look quite ugly, can't it, because of it as well. And also seam layering.
Yes, I would, if I had more time, if I were doing this at home, I'd be grading my seam.
So what we mean by seam layering, if we just show
I would trim away half of the seam allowance, or a little more, on the thicker fabric.
Okay, so on your main fabric, so you've trimmed away. Can you show us on the next bit a little bit again, please,
sure.
Charlotte, darling?
I just need to lick my fingers because it's quite difficult to separate them.
It's always the way, isn't
it? There we go.
Yeah, brilliant.
So here's my lining bit and my outer bit, and I'm just going to trim away some of that outer bit.
So take it down.
Take it down to half or a little less.
Yeah.
There,
and
just
you
like
can
that.
see there.
So that when you press it, you've got less bulk.
Yeah, so that's what we mean by seam layering. So it's less bulk. So if you want to, when you press it, then you'll still get that lovely pristine finish. And I actually press it first and then trim.
Do you?
Yeah, just because I think sometimes if you've gone a little bit too tight, it can be a little bit fiddly to get it pressed out nice and evenly. So sometimes I'll press my seam open first, then I'll do my seam trimming.
Okay.
And then that way I know it's just opened up nicely. But horses for courses, it doesn't overly matter. It's just, for me, it's for ease. And now you're actually understitching.
Understitching, yes.
Aren't you now? Again, this is, oh my goodness me, this is another major finishing touch. But it is, isn't it?
It is, it
Charlotte?
really is.
These are all the things that you tend to read in a pattern. You think, I can
It
definitely
says
do that.
understitch, and you're like,
You think,
what?
understitch?
What's that?
What's this mean? So, understitching, Charlotte, would you like to explain that to us,
So
please? my love?
basically, you open up your lining in your main fabric so that it's right sides up, and then
Yes.
just stitch your seam allowances onto your lining piece. So all my seam allowances are pointing towards my lining.
So you've pressed them all down one way. So
Yes.
a little bit like we do in quilting when we're sort of moving it and we're
Yes.
nesting, aren't we? You're moving it all in one way.
all in one direction, and I'm
then-
just sewing them so that they're attached to the lining. And what that does is when you've got your finished garment, it helps prevent the lining from peeping out.
Yeah, so it
So
stops,
it stops it
lining
from rolling
Yeah, exactly.
out of
yeah.
your
We've
neckline.
got about 10 minutes left,
Have
my
we?
darling, just so
Oh
you
my
know
goodness.
kind of where we're
Can we
at.
overrun this time?
No, we've got no overrun this time.
Oh my goodness.
Hannah's gone, no.
Okay, well,
Ooh.
we're going to have to
Charlotte,
prioritise
I've got another
then.
hour with her, don't.
We're going to have to prioritise because I can't do it all.
That's absolutely fine.
Do we want to do the zip or do we want to carry on with this? That's the question. Hannah, what do you think?
Do you want the zip, Hannah, or would you? Let's see if we can show the zip at some point, and then we'll see what we
Okay,
can
well, let's
do.
just carry on with this
Okay,
bit of
thanks,
understitching because
This understitching
Yeah,
is
let's just pretend I've done it all.
incredible. Thank you, Charlotte. No, that gives us the idea.
Yeah.
But it's true, isn't it? It gives you that such a perfect finish time and time again, because it's now combined those two pieces together. You're not going to get that roll and showing of that lining fabric coming back up through again. Beautiful. Beautifully done.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think it's really, but I
It
think
is
it's
important,
key.
yeah.
I know
They're things that don't get
we
seen.
giggle because it's stuff that we take for granted that we do on a regular basis, but it's equally
Yeah.
the kind of things that are taken for granted, those unknown things that we don't ask,
Yes.
that we
'Cause we
feel,
think- yes.
what do we mean by understitching?
Yeah.
What do we mean by seam layering? And it's those little bits that make such a huge difference
They really
in the
do.
finish of a garment.
I remember the first time I saw understitch facings or something
Yeah.
in an instruction, and I was.
Deleted that.
Well, it wasn't even that. I just had literally no idea what it was, and it wasn't even that long ago.
And it is likewise, equally, you know, if you're understitching and it gives you just that beautiful finish that if you want to top stitch as well.
Yes, it holds
if
it
you've
all steady.
understitched it to start with, you'll get the best top stitching finish ever.
Right, so now I'm just stitching together the edges of my
Margaret's asked
sleeves.
us a question.
Yes,
do we
Margaret.
do we press the seams?
Oh yes, we totally press the
Ordinarily,
seams.
we would. We're just
We're
racing,
racing
through,
through.
Margaret. And press the seams open as you work.
Yes, definitely. So these are the edges of the sleeves now that I'm doing here.
Helen said you look gorgeous in your wiggle dress, Charlotte.
Thank you, Helen.
And apparently I need a wiggle dress. I know, I do.
Everybody does.
We all need a wiggle dress.
They give you that shape even if you
I
don't
was
have that
thinking I
shape.
couldn't quite cope with one for 5 hours solid on air, so I thought today, I did think maybe I should have gone for a dress today, but I was going for the fact that I knew I was going to be all over the shop today with adjuster forms and
Yes,
sewing machines
I'm
and
slightly
reaching
regretting
over.
my shoe choice. I've got actual lady shoes on.
We've got a lovely message from Susan. Thank you, Susan. And she said, morning ladies, I'm loving the education today. Oh, bless you. Charlotte, can the wiggle be made on an overlocker?
Not
What
really.
a fabulous question.
It's a good question, but I'm afraid not. You don't have... no, it's got too many cornery bits.
yeah,
you
I
could do
think-
some of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for finishing naturally, Susan, my darling. But to completely sew it, I would probably not go for it, just because there's a lot of little fiddly bits on it with the gathering as well, and the shaping
Yeah.
might be a little bit tricky. Would you agree, Charlotte?
I would agree.
And thank you so
Sorry,
much.
Susan.
You are an absolute star. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and it's so lovely. Keep the messages coming in. Loving to hear it. So what are we doing now,
So now
Charlotte,
I've
darling?
sewn those arms together, I've sort of just turned this inside out now.
Yeah. Now this all looks a little bit scary now.
It does look a bit scary, but
doesn't it?
bear in mind that it wouldn't look quite so scary had
we
I
pressed
ironed it.
Yeah. No, I know. I know.
So now we're going to do our side seams.
Okay. So the arm's been caught in right across, the arms have gone right across, and
Yes.
now we need to catch it in to actually make it sit in like we would do if we were setting a sleeve in, but because it's that raglan nature,
Yes, exactly.
it's just going into the side seam, isn't
You
it?
see, I'm hurrying so much, I'm not even pinning now.
Get this?
I know, daring.
This is the pro.
Well, that's one word for it. Slightly unrecommended. Especially with this fabric, because it does want to jump about a bit.
I mean, obviously, when we're sewing at home,
You would take your time. You would absolutely take your
time. But we
time.
just want to give you as much of an impression of everything as we possibly can, because it's just to get you that inspiration. And also, I think today, particularly, we've really covered some key skills.
Definitely.
And probably ones that initially, when we were talking in prep, that we hadn't necessarily thought of discussing in any depth, had we? But I just think it's been really relevant. So, thank you. Oh, wow.
So
There
you can
go.
sort of
you can see the shaping coming now. That's brilliant.
Here we are. That's your sleeve.
That's amazing. So with a nice press, as we would say, along the way, as we would have done.
Yes, and I'm just going to
ordinarily.
show you what you do with the
loop.
with the waistband and the loop. I'm not actually going to do it because I'm mindful of the fact that we want to get onto the zip.
Love. That's great.
So this is my.
About 5 minutes.
That's fine. This is my waistband, and here's the loop. And what you do is you're going to base this in position here.
Okay, yeah.
So that when you sew.
Do you want a pin?
Actually, yeah, let's pin
Okay,
it.
I'll be a pin holder.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
So then you sew your waistband to your
Got you. Yeah.
outer, and you put some gathering stitches in here.
Yeah.
Gather this up, and then this comes around and gets stitched to the inside like that.
I see. So that's why doubling it up where we've omitted that keyhole, that gives you that ruched effect.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So that's what that is. And on this one, I stitch down either side just to hold my gathers in place because they were sort of.
And it's nice, particularly as well with the
I think
cotton.
it's
Whereas
nice like
maybe
that.
with the crepe, you might
wouldn't
want
need
to have
to
it
do
a little
that.
bit softer
Yeah.
and have the draping.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
don't think
you?
you'd need to do it with
That's
that.
lovely.
So that's
beautiful. Thank you so much for showing us that hack.
Right.
So now
zip.
the little bit, the concealed zip.
Okay.
So,
Next bag of goodies. I've just got 2 bits of fabric here. This is not actually a skirt, we're just pretending.
okie dokie.
I'm going to.
Now, again, I've got, we've got different categories for these, and we've got a category C and a category BC, beg your pardon, and also a category D, concealed zipper foot.
Can I have the arm?
So, obviously they are from Janome. Sorry, I'm getting busted out the way here. Obviously, they say Janome, but as I explained to you earlier, it is well worth you looking in your manual, maybe, or contacting your supplier of your machine to see what classification it's being given, category B, C or D. Now, all of our machines on the Sewing Quarter site have all got their categories now listed for you, because that's something that we picked up on some time ago. So it's key for you to be able to cross-reference. But equally online, there's also an awful lot of literature out there which might also be quite advisory as to what category foot your machine is. Now, can I actually put this in without a concealed foot?
You can, but it's not as easy.
Okay.
You can do it with a normal
so
zip foot.
it's for an ease.
But it won't
purpose
be
that we
as
want the
invisible.
foot. Okay. Oh, that's good.
You want it to be very
Oh,
invisible.
yes, it's all
Because
about
can
the
you see this
finish.
bit? Can you?
I'm looking.
Right, okay. So the first thing I did was press the teeth of my zip so that it's a little flatter.
Oh, right. Does that melt them at all?
It doesn't actually. You know, I've always seen things that say, please be careful and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I have never in my life
Managed to
melted
melt some.
a zip. So it says to use a nylon setting, but I find if I use a nylon setting, it doesn't actually do anything.
Okay.
Okay, right. So the first thing that you want to do is have your zip right side up.
Okay, right side up and open.
And yes, open.
Okay. Open.
And then you're going to flip it over and lay it on top of your left-hand piece. Let's pretend this is a skirt.
And we've just brought in for you there, if you want to, and these are really worthwhile having them in your stash, a white concealed zip. It's the information is there for you, just $2.99.
I'm just going to put
centimetres.
one pin just at the top there, just to hold it while I go over to the machine. And I'm going to sew along as close as I can get to the teeth. And the wonderful thing about the concealed zip foot is it has this little tunnel in it.
Okay.
That the
yes.
teeth go into.
That it's going to feed it.
It's going to feed it through. So it allows you to get really close.
That's incredible.
Oh, it's got stuck on something. There we go.
That's it. It was just the end.
It was the
stuff.
threads
It had
stuck.
gone up at the top.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
Okay. And also the other thing about an invisible zip that's so amazing is
She's like at
look,
the bar.
you don't have to hold on to it. All you need to do is keep an eye on your seam allowance, and the zip will automatically end up in exactly the right place.
That is incredible.
I know. So I'm like, la 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 la.
So this is why your foot's easy.
Right. So you get to the bottom, you go as far as you can.
Yeah.
Back stitch, and cut your threads.
Okay. So back stitch, cut threads.
Take it out
Right.
now.
So
Zip
now
it
here's
up.
the next bit.
So here is the next bit. The thing with invisible zips is it's incredibly easy to get them on wrong.
Yes.
So I find that in order to avoid that, the best thing to do is imagine your garment completed.
Yeah.
So I want this ultimately to look like that.
Yes.
So in order to achieve that, I need to sew my zip on.
Oh, I see.
Like that.
So you
So
kind of get it. So actually, that's a kind of a place where your magic clips would come in quite handy
Yeah.
as well, wouldn't it? Because you could hold it
Yeah.
in place.
So I want it to be sewn on like this. And again, I've just stuck one pin in at the top
Yeah, that gives you a starter.
just to hold it in approximately the right position. And I've unzipped my zip again. And
So
now
would you sew it in the way that you've got your lining and your layer of
it depends
main
on the
fabric
pattern
as well? Or
This
okay.
pattern you do.
So yeah, so it's done as one. So it just depends on the
It
style
depends
of
on the
it,
pattern,
yeah. Because I was going to
You
say,
can
some
hide them,
might
yeah.
do it completely, mightn't they, from both sides?
And this time you're sort of sewing it on the other side. So you're using the other groove.
Yes.
There's two grooves, so I'm using the one on the right this time.
So you've got on your foot. There's like almost like a central
Yes.
marker, isn't there?
Yes.
That's the guide, so you know which side of that guide you're actually going. But just look how easily it feeds through. It's just beautiful, isn't
Okay,
it?
so at the bottom again, back stitch, take it out.
Okay, so
and this is the
finish
point
it.
where you look at it and you think, oh, but hang on, it's all upside down and it doesn't make any sense. And
Yeah.
all you have to do is that.
Yeah, just flip it.
Just flip it.
So the only point where it's not actually attached as such, isn't it? Flip it through. Oh, look at that.
There's no zip. It's invisible.
I can't see it. That's why you're the bee. You're the bees and bees.
So there you go, invisible zips.
That's incredible. Thank you, Charlotte.
You're welcome.
I have had so much fun. Now it's time for you to wiggle off, my lovely, in the nicest sense. Wiggle it.
I
Thank you,
will.
darling.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you. She's been amazing, hasn't she? Thank you so much. Bless you. Now, I'm going to take you over to our fabrics and to the other desk so that you can see what we've got to make this fabulous one in. Now, patterns we've got for you. It comes in two size variations, a 6 to 14, and also we've got the other size for you, slightly going into the larger sizes, which is going to take you from a 14 to a 22, and that's just coming in for you as we speak now. Oh, there we go. Now, both of these patterns, when you've checked out on your baskets, over half the stock have both gone. We knew that obviously the wiggle dress, you're all wiggling out there at the moment, everybody's talking about it out there. We knew it was going to be popular. So we tried to get a really good stock of these in because we thought you'd absolutely adore it, and you obviously are. So thank you very much for your orders. Now, moving on to the cerise pink, which this is the one that's most popular because this is what our Charlotte was just demonstrating in, and it's stunning and it's at a reduced price. So this is a beautiful crepe, which was a lightweight crepe, which we were talking about. The pattern actually recommends this as an alternative fabric to the classic cotton that we associate. For the largest size, you're going to need about 1.5 meters, which is approximately, which is 3 units ordering from us. It's 150 centimetres wide, and all the breakdowns and compositions of our fabrics are on our website for you. The coordinating lining that we've selected to go with this, 1.5 meters again would be the quantity you'd need, those 3 units, and you can see it's an anti-static lining for you. Really important, particularly with this dress. And then we're going to show you this concealed zip, which is like a sort of a pinky tone, isn't it? And also we're going to show you the option available in the white option too. These are zips of 41 centimetres in length, all concealed with those from YKK, and they've got those beautiful little pulls on them too. And the white one I've got here for you, as you can see. This is just a really standard piece to keep in. Everything that we've used and all the fabrics that we've used and the fabrics that are linings are all underneath on the web for you to see. And the fabric that Charlotte was wearing as well, and the tulle, which is here, you can see, extra wide. So instead of needing 1.5 meters, it would be just about 1 meter that you'd need. Thank you so much. We are coming back for the last hour. Thank you for joining me. And it's going to be a big roundup of all things birthday. So grab a cuppa quickly, and I'll see you in 3.